There we go. We're live.
Facebook land, what's up? What's up? Michael Clark here in the house.
Justin Graham.
Thank you, sir. We are excited for, gosh, this is just like episode 1 of who knows what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael, how did we kind of end up at this desk here today?
It started with an arm wrestling match. That's where it really started.
That you won.
He tries to tell people that I won. Really, this guy's biceps like 3 times the size of mine. So.
Well, I wish I could get the other rest of my body to keep up with my arms,
Right.
A few more days on legs at the gym. Michael, this is an awesome place you got here. For one,
Appreciate that.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And so where are we at? What do you do here?
Yeah, so this is our office here. This is our weather office, typically. And what we do here is we just put out weather stuff all day long. And most of the guys do all the work in there. I kind of sit around and drink coffee. No, I'm just kidding. Kirk's in
Typical.
there doing something. I don't know what he's doing. No, this is where it all goes down in terms of just our daily operations. And we thought this would be a great place where we could kind of start this. And notice we put in the title, share with us what we can call this, because this is going to go on an Apple and podcast as
Sure.
well. So what can we call it? Like, what can we call it?
I would just like to hear some suggestions. I mean,
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber is already taken. It was a movie.
It's one of my
I think the
favorites.
Michael and Justin show is a little just kind of like obvious.
It's a little
I don't know.
bland.
M&J show.
See, I thought about that one, the M&J show. I thought that was okay.
I mean, the M and J are good. M and J are good initials.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would like to hear some ideas. I'm definitely brainstorming. I've actually just been waiting for my wife to tell me or tell us what to call it. That's
Right.
usually what I do. Is
Yeah.
wait. But so I guess in a nutshell, this is going to be kind of a starting as a weekly show, and we're just going to briefly touch on maybe the real estate market. Some hot listings that we have coming up or currently have. And then I think Michael's going to touch a little bit on the weather, and then we're just going to take it from there and talk about the Oscars or Post Malone or anything.
What would you do if you saw Post Malone at Olive Garden?
Probably challenge him to a breadstick eating contest. No, I swear. I ate 22 breadsticks at Olive Garden when I was like 6 years old.
With Alfredo or like Runny Ranch?
No, so I am so weird. I know that's a shock to you guys. I am so weird. I would get extra of the Italian salad dressing
Okay.
and dip my breadsticks in that. And I didn't go for the Alfredo. I mean, that's pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Alfredo sauce with your breadsticks.
It's thick.
It's
a
very
thicker sauce,
it's thick,
yeah.
and the dressing's free, and I think they charge you like $6.99 for a cup of Alfredo.
I would not pay that.
But I would challenge Post Malone to a breadstick eating contest, and then probably compare tattoos with him, since I have 0.
I was gonna say, do you have tattoos? I'm not
don't.
sure. I haven't seen him with his shirt off.
Recently.
Okay, all right. So let's get this thing started. So again, what we're gonna do, we want to talk a little business. We want to add value, and we want you guys to know who Justin and I are, where we've come from, because we're average dudes, and everybody's average, and everybody has potential to do really anything they want to do in this life. And I believe that by sharing that, it just is huge. And sharing it from guys like Justin and myself is big. So this beautiful house you see behind us, Justin, tell us about this house that's behind us.
This is I feel so.
Wow, that's official.
This is going to be this week's official listing of the day. Gorgeous home in Center Grove, the Saddle Club Glenmore edition, over right near where Saddle Club dead ends into 144. There's a huge, beautiful neighborhood there. This home is listed for $299,900, and here is the most important part of this. There's an open house this Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. on this gorgeous home. It's a ranch, beautiful floors, granite countertops, white cabinets.
Yeah.
The owners have kept it in just immaculate condition. They've been relocated for job purposes and getting closer to family. So unfortunately, they've had to put the home on the market, and they've trusted us to get this thing sold for them. So what I would like to do is someone to make me an offer right now.
Yeah.
Start the bidding at $299,900
Yeah.
on this house. So first person, give me that. We're in.
Shoot it. Hey, funny fact about this, Justin. If you look back here on this roof,
This roof?
over here, hang on, right there, I actually have almost lost my life on this roof doing Christmas lights, pulling a Clark Griswold for Kirk.
Is you covered on your medical insurance if something happens while you're putting up Christmas
It
lights?
was a risk I was willing to take.
I mean, if you're like electrocuted in here, I'm sure you're covered.
Yeah, on Kirk's house, not.
So you'd have just had to sue him.
Sorry, go ahead, back
Well,
with your...
another interesting thing here, and as I'm getting used to all your technology, is I had a campfire.
He did.
I had a campfire. in
And he
front of
rode a
that-
horse.
That tree right there.
I thought I saw you riding a horse live.
Well, and there's no horses really allowed per the HOA conditions. So
They'll fine you for that.
I believe the homeowner did get kind of a warning ticket. As long as I cleaned up the, what the horse left, I was fine. Anyways, 4301 Gallup Court. We'll put a link in the comments after the show. I would love everybody to see you Sunday, February 16th, 2 to 4 p.m. 4301 Gallup Court. Come take a look at this beautiful house, and let's get you set up into this for your permanent home. So
Yeah.
So
Share
that's-
this, guys. Share it. We're not endorsing. We're not advertising. We're not selling stuff here. We're not making any money. Justin and I are up here just trying to give back. We just ask you share. Just click the share button. That's really all we ask for. So, hey, so let's shift gears real quick. This map you see here is. You've been wanting to do it. You can do it if you want.
Sweeping through the Midwest.
Yeah.
Is this warm front?
Yeah.
I think the warm front didn't get to us here, Michael.
Well, it's better than Texas.
Isn't this the worst color to have when you are looking at the code bar thing? Doesn't this mean like Middle Earth?
I mean, honestly, it's not really even close to what it means. What it actually means is over the next 2 weeks, it's just going to be really warm. That's it. This is just a 2-week outlook. It's warm. But what this is doing is something rather significant. It's putting down a ton of rainfall. In fact, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but there's a high risk down here for flash flooding rains, all right, significant rains that could have a large-scale impact on people and on the environment and things like that. So big deal going on down here today, a lot of flash flooding rains. Again, everybody's going to be wet in the southern U.S. So you're probably asking, like, why do I care about this? Why would I care? The reason I want to briefly kind of show this stuff to you guys is because it's what we do on a daily basis. It's how we have turned this into a business that makes money. And so
It's a good thing.
yeah, and talking about big, weather event areas that impact the commodities, the markets. It's a big deal. A shot of very cold air will impact the natural gas markets, or a very dry spell of weather says grain prices go higher. So we've kind of harnessed that as let's try to predict that so folks can hedge their bets in the markets and the commodities. So.
I'm sure this is important for landscapers, roofers. I mean, gosh, you name it.
Yeah.
So just a more can we just say in-depth, accurate look at the weather?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Just an in-depth, accurate look at it, and you get what you pay for type deal. The free stuff's free, and that's why it's free. So that's that. I don't want to spend a ton of time on that because Justin and I have some really cool stuff to share with you guys today, and I'll start if you don't mind.
I would love you to start.
Okay. You know what?
I've been excited to hear it.
Good.
I mean, honestly.
Good.
I'm looking forward to this.
I'm pumped. So Justin and I, myself, I know Justin can get into his story as well, but in terms of how we started our business is really fascinating in terms of where I came from personally in my personal life. For me, it all started as a very simple phone call or an invitation to chase a tornado in Illinois. And really what happened from the day we chased a tornado to where we are, 10 years later is fascinating. And it goes from doing this stuff for free for so long, 3 or 4 years, just providing free content. I was working at Lowe's, doing appliance delivery. Loved the guys I worked with there, absolutely hated the job. I was miserable. But I had to go because I had to make money. And then I was going through online schooling, and then I was doing the BAM stuff. So sometimes, the BAM stuff was midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, providing, putting forecasts out. And the funny part is this image that you see here, this is where I was doing this from, which don't be fooled. This is not an office. This is someone's house. This is Brian and Amanda, the loft of their house. And so, for a while we were doing this for free. And one night I was in the loft and I rolled over and I looked at Brian and Amanda. They were downstairs. And I just said, hey, I think we need to just go full time. And I think we need to try and make money on this deal. And thankfully I had their support, but we didn't have any money. It wasn't like, okay, cool, here's $100,000. We didn't have any grand, for a time as
you didn't have a shark.
Nothing. No. And for a time, as I'd quit my job, I was driving a Cadillac, a 1995 Cadillac Catera, cream of the crop. I don't know if you've ever been in one of those.
I had a Pontiac Grand Am, a Cadillac.
Yeah. But no, I was given the car because I didn't have a car. But I lost my job before, repossession, lost all my stuff. Got fired from my previous job for chasing a thief out the doors. They fired me. So I had no money,
right,
essentially. But I had a dream. I did. I really did have a dream on what I wanted to do. But this car, this $900 car, about every 2 weeks I would drive to pick apart. Because
did it have subwoofers?
It had factory subs.
I don't think it did.
With like a Rockford Fosgate amp?
Yeah, no, I didn't have any of that. It had power windows, leather seats. At that time.
Sounds like you were spoiled back
at that time,
beginning.
baby. I was living it because it was a gift to me. I was very thankful for the gift. But I had to go to the junkyard and I had to pick parts because the ignition wiring and stuff kept breaking. And so I'd have to get here's $20. I need to put a new spark plug in or and I had to do this. So every other Friday I'm under my hood fixing my ride, But so to make that long story short, Brian and Amanda would give me gas money and food money because I didn't have any money to do anything. In fact, the first year, the company as a whole made $17,000.
Sure.
The first year, and so we didn't, by the time you pay taxes and a couple of small things that you have going on, there's no money left from $17,000.
Right.
So this is where it all began for me, and so.
Well, and I am here to tell you this. I mean, it's impressive. I feel like I'm in NASA control room here. So
there's a lot of screens. Makes us look like we know.
Look at this young man over here on the.
Yeah. So
Was this like your first?
That was my first time on a green wall back in 2013.
I'm trying to get the pose here. Okay.
That's calculated art. You have to really practice that.
Well, I didn't know if you learned that at the meteorological. Is there the hand? I mean, if there's
like a hand school?
Certain ways you have. I mean, if you're sweeping through,
right,
or if you're, it's coming down.
Right. Yeah. No. That's kind of like that's my own art, if you will.
I like it.
But
no, this is good. What year was this?
That's 2013. That's when I thought I wanted to be a TV meteorologist.
Okay.
And so then I got exposed to that world, and then I realized I didn't want to be a TV meteorologist.
Right.
But I went through a long internship with Brian Wilkes in Indianapolis.
I assume you have to get up at like 1 a.m. to be to work on time to be a meteorologist on the news.
And they don't. There's really no quality of life schedule on TV news, anything like that. But if I go back to this image here. When I'm just thinking, and interrupt me anytime because I talk a lot. Justin kind of balances. So I'm kind of like stern and serious, and Justin's kind of like
Well, we're testing this.
He
so-
balances it out a little bit. So, do I sound okay? Okay.
We're surrounded by a great team here
There's
today. by the
people
way.
helping everywhere. It's
By
great.
the way, I mean,
Yeah.
this is fantastic. My wife is here to babysit me. She's over here like making signals at me. Don't say that. Don't do that. Stop moving.
False.
Where are
she
we going
says.
to eat tonight?
She's saying false in the background.
I'm hungry. What do you want? I don't know. No, I just want to say this it's incredible seeing the progress of where you were and where you've came from and I think we've talked before about how you had people telling you that you weren't going to amount to much or you're wasting your time going on this new venture. You'll never see it through and
Yep. I've had family sit me down on the couch and tell me that. I think you're making a very bad decision here. I think this is an irresponsible choice. You don't have a 401k.
Right.
You don't have health insurance. You don't have retirement.
And that strikes with me because I think people inside can tell. I think you feel like you have like an entrepreneurial or a kind of a gene to not want to punch a time clock. There's nothing wrong with punching a time clock and knowing exactly how much money you're going to make every week, every month, every year with your little increase in pay. Over the years, you're with. My stepdad worked at Allison's for 35 years, and he loved it. He loved the structure. He loved just everything about it. I assume you like the unknown of what we can create, where we can take something from nothing. Like when you mentioned working at Lowe's, I worked at Subway, and just punching a time clock and having that structure is not for me.
Yep.
So
And you're limited. There's only so much. There's only so far you can go.
right.
In a corporate America world where it's here's your 1.5% raise. Thanks for busting your ass this entire year. Here's a quarter.
First cuss word was thrown out.
Sorry.
Of the podcast.
Dang it. Justin doesn't cuss, and he's mad at me.
Is this Netflix or cable? Because I don't know if that was bleeped out. It probably should have been.
Are you mad at me?
No.
Okay.
No.
Forgot to enact the dump ball.
I mean the S word was minor. Danny would probably look over it. So.
If you're watching, Danny, I'm sorry. Oh, it was the A word. I said the A word.
Oh, it was the A. Oh, busting your A word.
Yeah. But hear me out. Hear me out. So what I'm saying is as Justin was saying, the time clock deal. Brian and I, when we started BAM, it was we couldn't stand how we were treated in just corporate America and how. Brian would talk about, hey, I got my raise today at Simplex where I used to work, and they gave me
2.5%.
2.5%, and
And I fought for you.
yeah.
Michael, let's shout out if you who's.
Want to shout out?
Yeah.
Okay.
We appreciate it. I mean, there's several people on here.
Yeah, there's a ton of people
let's
watching.
do a little shout out real quick, and then we'll get back to the useless information that
Yeah, that I'm providing.
Michael and I are sharing.
Crystal Huffman, hi. Crystal, how you doing? Roy Hendershot.
Hi, Roy.
Roy says quarter. That's a raise.
Oh,
Yeah.
a quarter raise?
Yeah.
Well, over 20 years,
Yeah.
a year?
You get like $4. No, that's Lacey. Hi, Lacey says it's very true. Thank you, Kirk. Anything on the?
Pretty much just a couple of suggestions.
Okay.
We're asking about the purpose of the show. Trying to
We don't have a purpose.
These are all Michael's friends. Does nobody like me out there and want?
What about yours?
Oh, Brian Proctor. Brian Proctor.
Brian Proctor's on.
See you at the selfie station, Brian. Brian did not ask me to do that. I asked him for the record.
See ya at the selfie station.
I love Brian Proctor, and it was a perfect photo op with him. So,
Trisha Roberts, a neighbor, said we love it close to the park and pool too.
oh, Jason Newbold,
Jason Newbold.
one of my favorite guys that I've never met.
What's going on with that?
He keeps teasing me with coffee date or flying me to Naples for the weekend. Jason,
I'll fly. I mean, I'll fly with.
well, I think I'm just going to tell him I need to test drive one of those jets, and
Yeah. Well, I think within the next couple of years, Jason, I think Justin and I are going to buy one from you. That's the plan.
it better be an old one.
Who else do we have? Justin Shutley, Keith Casson, Stevie Harmon. Guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Anybody watching, we just want you to share it. That's really all we're asking you to do. And if you don't like it, tell us that you don't like it. You know, it may be me that you don't like, or Justin. I don't know. You know. Hey,
I
look,
don't have.
Jonathan Wilson, Jason Newbold. I need it on the plane ride.
Jonathan Wilson is one of the coolest guys I know.
He is.
Just for the record, Nomad Barbershop.
Yep.
I would no ever go anywhere else but to Nomad.
Yep.
Jonathan I'm probably not his favorite client because I don't let him cut my hair. It's not because of a skill level thing or anything like that. It's just Jonathan, I'm sorry. I hope there's no grudge there. I love your shop. So, but anyways, wanted you to know, appreciate what you do for the community and bringing that kind of that atmosphere to getting your hair cut, because some of the other ones I went to were pretty drab and pretty boring. So thank you for what you do, buddy. Also, he's getting ready to open a shop in Franklin, Indiana.
Yep.
So
We need to have him on here.
I would love to have Jonathan Wilson on here.
Yeah.
His schedule is full quite a bit. But
Well, you'll have to make some space, John.
well, another thing I'm concerned about is he's a pretty handsome guy.
Yeah, he might put us down a
I
little bit.
just don't want to go out of business
Right.
our second
Yeah.
or third episode. So anyway, Jonathan Wilson, Nomad Barbershop, giving him a shout out. Second
Center Grove.
location coming to Franklin.
Yep.
I wanted to say something earlier, ask you about your business. I know we were talking about the time clocks and and the unknown factor. So in real estate, there's some months I may have several closings, and there's some months I may make zero money.
Mm-hmm.
So is it similar with you? You probably have a steady stream of, what is it, like a monthly subscription people get?
It's typically yearly.
A yearly subscription?
Yeah, but it's not I mean, so we're on our third year of reoccurring revenue, fourth year of reoccurring revenue. So we do have somewhat of a stream of reoccurring revenue that pays the bills, but not really. There are some months, where I'll sell a lot,
Right.
and there are some months where I'll sell.
Are you the salesman of this awesome crew, or is there a primary salesman that I'm?
So we have Terry Powers, who sells for us.
Okay.
Myself sells. Kirk Hens in there, our friend Kirk.
Confused with Heinz.
It's not Heinz, like the ketchup.
Oh, it's him. Oh,
Yeah. So see, I don't agree. I think his last name is actually Heinz.
Be a little richer if you want.
Yeah.
that's
It's Hens.
Hens should have an E in it.
That's what I say. He does.
But it doesn't.
See, he's wrong.
Are you sure your family's been pronouncing it correctly over the years? You need to do one of those ancestry things and make sure you're pronouncing it right.
right?
So is it Kirk or Kyrk? Or
I'm sorry. Are you saying Pam or Pan?
well, I mean, if it's Heinz, it should be Kirk.
Yeah.
Kirk and not Kirk? I don't know. I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah. So we have a couple people that sell. I've primarily done it the last several years, but now I'm trying to build a team of people that sell. But to answer your question, there are some months, and it goes back to this image right here. If you guys watching, there's a whiteboard back here. Can you see that whiteboard? You see it?
I see it.
If you could zoom in on those are all deals I was trying to make happen 9 years ago. I had this whiteboard, and I would just call people all day long, and I would get told no all day, every day for a long time.
You get told no in sales. Do they ever say, why shouldn't I just watch the weather
Even to this day, every day.
every day?
Every day. Yeah, I'm always being asked, why would I pay for the weather?
Check that out.
What is it?
Sponsorship with Skillman. You
Is
were
that-
talking about doing a sponsorship with Skillman.
With Skillman.
And we're doing one now.
Aren't you in? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought I saw.
That
Right.
was 9 years ago.
9 years ago?
Yeah,
9 years ago.
yeah,
Took 9 years.
yeah. It takes, so Yeah, 9 years. I mean, that's what it takes. I mean, so my point to this board is I would just write down, I would just relentlessly go after deals and trying to build our business. And I'll never forget our first deal. Our first deal ever was Indy Honda.
Right.
They paid us $6,000. And that was I lived on $6,000 for what, 4 months? 4 or 5 months maybe?
Did you do any upgrades to your Cadillac with that?
I bought some tire shine, and I shined the wheels. No, but guys, you know, enough about me here in just a second because I want to hear about Justin's story. But I've been a professional SHIT eater. I didn't actually cuss.
I gotta rinse my own mouth out after that.
But we've been used to, you got to get used to the fact of you're going to be told no, all right?
Did you ever fail? Did you ever want to quit?
How many conversations have we had about quitting?
Ryan, is this still messing up the screen?
Can you just get it off the table?
Too many rules.
There was a couple of, I remember one time I was renting a house in Whiteland, and I had a table from Walmart. It was one of those little $80 tables that if you put too much weight on them, they would in fact break.
Right.
Yeah. And we sat around the table, and in our company account, we had $3,000 or something in our company account. Year three or four.
Yeah.
I mean, I was engaged. I had a kid.
Yeah, it was less than 5. But
Yeah.
we were like, we gotta get to 5.
Right. We just didn't. And so we sat there and we said, is this where we throw the towel in?
Sure.
We don't have the money. Is this where it all ends? Several conversations like that. You know, and we just didn't quit. And, you know, I say all that to say now we manage a $500,000 budget. You
Sure.
know? So it's one of those things where it's difficult to talk about how hard that road is.
Right.
And now we have a staff. We have people that have families. We have people that we have to make sure get.
Sure.
Quitting is really not an option now.
Right.
You know. So yeah, we've had plenty of times where, even in the last couple, I'll be honest with you, the last couple of years, I've wanted to. I'm done. I don't have it. You know, making a certain level of money requires a certain level of yourself.
Right.
And sometimes for me, it's not worth it.
Right.
For me, sometimes.
Well, always in our line of work, we're in sales and behind the scenes and managing others. Is it hard? It's hard. I mean, my wife's sitting right here. It's difficult to find a balance because we get so passionate about what we're doing and being sure to see the team succeed that we work all hours of the day. I'm answering texts and emails and phone calls all hours of the day, and especially now having a 2.5-year-old. And
Wait, you mean you don't work at 8 and go home at 4?
an 8 to 4. That's pretty. That would be an interesting situation.
Yeah.
Weekends off.
Weekends off. No work ever on the weekends.
I cannot think of the last day that I did not do something for work.
Work on vacation.
Absolutely.
In the hospital delivering Ross.
We worked in the delivery room. My wife's over here
Mike pack out of his pocket.
barking.
Take your Mac out of your pocket.
Guys, I got to get used to this stuff. This is like
You can set it on the table if you want.
Hollywood. This is a Pro XR.
Yeah,
If you guys are wanting to know what kind of equipment we're using, I'm gonna
it's the best.
oh,
You're good right
set
there.
that right
Yeah.
there.
It's like that.
You don't even have to touch it.
Signal.
Michael, over.
Check. Check. 1, 2.
No, I don't have weekends off. One thing I think people can misinterpret about being a real estate agent is that it's awesome rock star glamorous life, and that all we do is drive around in our Cateras and talk on the cell phone. Though real estate has several perks and flexible schedule, it also takes a ton of sacrifice, as we're dealing with people in the most emotional time of their life, almost buying or selling a home and spending $200, $300, $400, $500,000. You want to see true emotions come out. Go through the home buying process on both sides. I mean, I've got to handle the sale and try to coach and help people control several different aspects of this emotional roller coaster that they're going through, because a deal could be going completely smooth, but when you're on the buying end, and I feel it myself, it's just everything okay? The appraisal come in good? Is the home inspection fine? When do we close? Are oh my God,
I'm
So-
surprised you guys actually still talk to me after selling my house.
You were a handful. No.
I'm one of those guys that I just always am in constant contact. I always have to ask a lot of really ridiculous questions.
Well, and as real estate agents, a lot of the times we will assume that everybody knows completely and has been through the home buying process and they know every single in and out. And really, it's sometimes quite the opposite. And we do need to be in communication more often and keep people up to date on what's going on. So it's just a thing we fall into where we assume everybody's been through the process. And
Well, Michael had went through the home buying and home building process, but he hadn't gone through the home selling process.
Right.
Which is a whole nother thing.
sure, which we had actually failed at that for you at first, if I believe. Didn't it sit?
It sat for a little bit, yeah.
The Justin Graham team could not. His face, that hurt. That was a dagger.
Well, as we just talked about 5 minutes ago, we get told a lot more no's than we do yeses.
Right. So, anyways, long story short, we did eventually get Michael's home sold and got him in one. But I'm trying to figure out which Goodwill that I got this suit from.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about.
Look how big that suit is.
That's tailored from New York. This one here.
This is a special kind of deal where you get the shoulder thing.
What's amazing is I was in probably the best shape of my life in this picture right here, and I could not fill out that suit. Wow. No, this came from the Goodwill over by the mall. When I got into real estate, I had not an item of dress clothing in my closet. So this was how I got started. This was a humble beginning for me.
So you mean you didn't just become a real estate agent and start making $500K a year?
Oh my gosh, my first home sale was for $10,000 in a listing in downtown Indianapolis on LaSalle Street. Was my first one.
Yeah. So let me. I mean, for you, when it comes to picking up the phone and cold calling and prospecting and whatever, how often did you really just kind of feel like you weren't going to win?
Every day. So making 1,000 phone calls and maybe talking to 2 people is pretty frustrating.
How many calls would you make a week in the beginning, Justin? Just out of curiosity.
At first, I mean, I would say you're calling, probably making 200 dials a day, and that was back when I was dialing from basically just my cell phone. Now we've got all the auto dialers and the triple line dialers. So I was completely blessed with an opportunity, and it's a whole different story on how I got into real estate. Blessed with an opportunity to be hired on into real estate with no experience 10 years ago, and was handed a book of business to attempt to try to work internet leads, and when I got into real estate, it doesn't just come to you out of nowhere. You have to door knock, you have to cold call, you have to take a lot of rejection and get a lot of doors slammed in your face, and get people that have you show them houses for 6 months and then write a deal with another agent at the last minute. So you invest 6 months of your time to get 0 pay. So I'm never on the clock. If I took Michael out and showed him 20 homes, and one day he walks into a model home and buys something without me with him, then I'm going to lose that sale. Or he calls a for sale by owner and doesn't tell me about it. I could have spent 6 months with him, I'm not going to get a dime. And I went through that often because sometimes there's loyalty issues between clients, because you're obviously always trying to find a good deal or the right the right thing, and what you might think is a good deal, or where you might be saving money, really might be costing you money. But I just,
Would you say loyalty nowadays is not as what it used to be?
I would say loyalty level is especially with people you don't know.
I said declining.
It's declining. Obviously, when it's sphere, friends or family or someone we've worked with, they know our track record. They know what kind of a job we do. But if you're working with an internet lead and they don't know you, you could go out and show them a couple homes, and they're going to call the next agent click the Zillow button or the Realtor.com button, and just dump you right there on the spot and go see houses with some other agent. So there's no guarantee I can make people use me. I mean, we can sign loyalty agreements or whatnot, but I choose. If I meet somebody and show them some homes, if they're not impressed with me and they don't want to work with me, why would I ever want to force someone to continue in that relationship? So, I want to try to win them over from the beginning, but we do get dumped a lot for what we feel are just people being not loyal, looking for someone else who they think can maybe save them some more money.
Yeah.
It's day one.
So this here, talk about what was going through your mind here in this picture. You look really excited.
I'm excited. I mean,
Yeah.
The patch on my chest says it all. You did it. I
Yeah.
passed real estate school.
That's awesome.
If I had to take real estate school now, it would take me 8 times to pass it because it is extremely difficult.
Really.
So I did it on my second try then. So that's me as a young salesperson getting into real estate. Are you referring to my clothing options or?
You're just cheesing, man. You just got a big smile.
Well, I don't have any gray hair.
Yeah.
And this was just me smiling, thinking I'm going to make $500,000 my first year in real estate.
Yeah. Isn't that fun to think about?
So that was the very little, that was the very little corner desk that I got put in over when I started at Keller Williams. Tremendous opportunity that I'm grateful that I had. And this was the nicest outfit I had in my closet. And as you can tell, I don't really deviate far from the.
You look good today.
Yeah,
Nothing
this
to
is
look-
my go-to.
Forgot your cowboy hat though.
I did. That
It's actually not his, it's Ross's.
Well,
that was my 2-year-old son's.
that's fine.
Um,
Next time you got it.
I will wear the kit, but this is my go-to shirt for film. So hopefully Sarah will take me to the Buckle soon. So this was Old Navy, Justin,
The Buckle, old Navy, Justin.
and this is Buckle, Justin.
We need to
So
get into, like,
I
Express.
bought this. They stamped my card, so I got a free lunch coming soon from the Buckle or a pair of socks.
That's awesome, though. I mean, because people think because of social media, and I try hard to do this, sometimes I might portray that I'm just doing so much better than I really am. I try not to do that, but people think that it's just this lifestyle of just, amazingness and money and and just, you know what I'm trying to say here?
Well, I
think people think that it's just so glamorous and so.
Well, of course, Sarah or our wives are going to post all the wonderful things and maybe not bring up the fact that we got yelled at for not unloading the dishwasher or, Michael, I've washed her clothes on the hot setting that didn't
Gosh,
need to
I've
be.
done that too.
Yeah. So you just don't post we do post some of the negative
Well,
things.
Saturday, Christy and I it was bad.
Christy.
Yeah.
Probably not Chrissy's fault. Just coming from a water.
Well, no, I'm just kidding. We're not going to get into whose fault it actually was.
I
but
have seen Christy, and she's an angel. It
She
looks
is.
like to me that would never do
Never do
anything
anything,
wrong to
ever.
upset.
No.
I don't see it.
No, but
But she has. I think she has been working out at the gym, and
Yeah.
so she's probably just trying to use those skills on you.
correct.
Michael can dunk a water balloon, by the way.
It's a squishy thing, ball.
Oh, I thought it was a water balloon.
Did you really think that?
I mean, it looked like a water balloon.
Where would I get a water
Well,
balloon?
where would you get a squishy ball at the gym?
What's he gonna do with it after it goes to the hoop?
Yeah.
I'm
I-
trying to dunk a real ball here, and I forgot how hard it is to increase your vertical as a 33-year-old man. It is not as easy as it sounds versus being 17.
You can see where his priorities lie. Trying to get to done. He wants to show up those guys out at LA Fitness there on Thursday nights.
Did you see what my wife just said? All I have to say is now the toy organizer is put together.
She's home slaving away at the
So
house.
your wife puts all the stuff together at home too?
No. Well, yes.
Just me.
Actually, my wife and her mother, God bless her mother's soul, we would be lost without her mother.
Does she live with you guys?
No, but we live with her.
Does she want to
Next house.
sell her house?
Next house, in-law quarters, we'll talk about it.
Because I work with my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
She doesn't cuss either.
My mother-in-law
That
doesn't cuss.
sounds awful.
But anyways, they're actually at home painting something right now because I'm not a handyman, okay?
Right.
I'm not a handyman. I don't do stuff.
Right.
I don't fix things. I just don't.
Can you put together an IKEA?
I
table?
did on Sunday. I did. And I was just so stinking mad. I couldn't even see straight.
Click, click.
I was so mad.
One thing that I will say that, Christy, if you're listening, that I'm impressed that this guy can take 3 little ones to Chick-fil-A and not have a meltdown
Hey.
or worry about
Or lose one.
or lose one.
Well, we won't tell my wife about that
They were
part.
found quickly. They were found quickly. I can't imagine having to take 3 out on your own. How often are you allowed to take all 3 of your own children out without a other responsible adult?
It's not very often. I'm kept on a very tight leash. I think, without saying it, my wife was in fear for all of our lives that night, quite honestly. So, and she
So-
had a couple of margaritas, which help.
So it's hard for her to relax out at margaritas.
Even
when
if we
you're-
have a date night, she's like, where are the kids? What are the kids?
Right.
The kids. And I'm like, can you ever just turn it off? She can't turn it off because this is her life. And
Right.
It's and I'm, I could never do that. So
Right. Well, you know what? I think we got off to I think we've got off to a pretty good start here on episode number 1. Maybe next time we can go into a little bit more detail of maybe kind of behind the scenes kind of business questions. Maybe someone will have some questions. We can talk a little bit more maybe about how we've I mean, if you're looking to grow a business, I'm sure you and I have experienced all the ups and downs and the do's and what not to do's. I'm sure you've had to learn how to invest in your retirement, as you make money. I mean, I've learned from a lot of very, very smart people, because I didn't go to college for business. I was actually a Spanish and political science major, which the job pool is low for those 2 things. I was a substitute teacher for a while. I made $65 a day doing that and thought I was on my way until I got hit in the head with a paper clip by a high school kid. Maybe get in a little bit more in depth on just the ups and downs of running a business and just getting through life
yeah,
during these phases.
yeah, because there's so much to talk about, and I think the main takeaway here is that Justin and I are not like these Instagram entrepreneur stars that, there's a few people on Instagram that have this popular entrepreneurial, everybody wants to talk to them and figure whatever. I'm not playing that. What I'm saying is we're people, a lot of you know us, probably all of you watching right now know who we are, but we want to be able to encourage you or add value in a way that you can relate to because you know us. We're real people. We're down to earth people. Even though,
We're not Post Malone,
no,
but even though I can eat more breadsticks than him. But no,
I don't doubt that you could.
I need my carbs,
Yeah.
Michael. So especially if I'm going to bulk up to beat you in arm wrestling on one of these future shows.
We have decided though that we actually take all of our glamorous money that we make, and we flew to Tahiti. We're in Tahiti right now, actually.
We did
On the beach.
I mean, we didn't want to make you guys feel guilty or jealous,
Right.
But yeah, we're headed out to our hut
Yep.
later. We have the end hut there to the
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
And then we're going to go check out that volcano that my big dome is blocking right here. So we have a tour of this afternoon, and then, wow, Michael, this is a class in its own trying to figure this. There we go.
Wherever you want to go, follow it.
Michael and Justin's hut overlooking the volcano.
So on the green wall, Justin, wherever you want to go, just follow it.
Wherever I want to go, just follow it.
Look at the screen.
Yep.
Where do you want to go? Follow it.
I want to go to hut 7.
Follow it. Just go there. Does that make sense? You're going where you want to.
This is one of those deals where it's easy for you to say and
Right,
hard
yeah.
for the beginner
I know it is tough.
to do.
Like, I'm here, and so I want to go along that way. So I'm going that. Does that make sense?
Why were you not a TV weatherman? Anchorman?
Do we want the real truth, or the real truth is I don't like being out in public and people saying all kinds of things to me about everything. And when I was interning in TV with Brian Wilkes, everywhere the poor man went, everybody talked to him all the time, every second of his life.
Yeah, I've seen Chuck Lofton out before, and he was having to take a lot of pictures.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. I never
Yeah.
wanted that lifestyle. So
So if we ever have to go on Ellen DeGeneres or anything, are you
Yeah.
gonna go or?
I'm probably going to send you on my behalf.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's going.
Guys, yeah, if you have suggestions of what we could call this show, I would love for your suggestions. Sandy says this was great. Mika says episode 1, nowhere to go but down. What a guy. What a guy. He's kidding. Dustin said this was great. A lot of people in and out. Frank Williams. Frank Williams is
saw
watching.
Frank.
Yeah.
Hi, Frank
How you doing,
Williams.
buddy? Yeah. So a lot of you watching, just give us suggestions. What can we call it? What can we talk about? We want to add value to you, but it's not like fake, like out of a book value. It's real.
Right.
It's real.
Our goal is for this to not be a real estate show or just a weather show. We may touch on that at the very beginning, and I absolutely want to promote listings on the team just briefly. We want this show we want this to turn into something where we can all just talk and share ideas and learn from each other. And definitely not trying to make this a boring real estate show where you feel like I'm just trying to get your listing or your buy. So I'm here to help regardless of what you're doing. And I'm sure Michael feels the same way. But what a better thing to have tied into a show than the weather. Mm-hmm. And everybody always thinks about the real estate market. What's my house worth? What are the interest rates? So we're just going to touch on that and then dive right into, like I said, we might talk about the Oscars. We might talk about when he can finally dunk a full-size basketball.
That would be really cool.
So this is gonna go where you all help us take it to. So I think this was a very awesome episode 1, Michael.
Yeah. My wife and I lay in bed every night looking at homes to buy.
Okay.
So-
I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah. Well, it could go almost any direction at some point, but no, we do. We send each other houses to buy all the time. So, and
Well, I'm ready.
if you could maybe help me out, it seems like my wife's budget goes up.
Yeah.
Mine,
Well, you guys haven't bought a house in 6 or 7 months, so it's time.
Yeah, we're at 10 months.
You got 2 more months.
Is it 10? I don't know. Anyways, sorry, we could go for hours here. Guys, thank you so much. Share this. Give us suggestions, please. And we'll be back here again Monday. Do we want to do Monday? What do you want to do?
We're going to shoot for next Monday, and after that, we might layer in a couple extra days. I know you're a busy man, and but I think I want to work this into our schedule as much as possible. So I think there's plenty of topics out there we can talk about.
Absolutely.
So, and I just want to really intimidate Joe Rogan and what he's doing. We're coming.
Yeah.
To be
He's in trouble.
he is in trouble.
Yeah,
but
he's
he
got
is
a problem.
he's 10th planet jiu-jitsu black belt though.
Are there 10 planets? Are there 10 planets, Vince? No.
Pluto's out.
Pluto's
Kirk,
out.
Kirk,
Two off.
how many
Kirk-
planets do we have now?
Kirk Hines?
Kirk Hins.
We have 8.
Sorry.
We have 8 planets. We have there's a room full of meteorologists over there. They will correct us.
Post Malone, I will meet you at any Olive Garden. I know you will never ever see this, although I will challenge you to a breadstick and crouton eating contest any day you want, and you at arm wrestling soon.
I'm ready.
So I'm in training. Anyways, Michael, thanks for having me here
Thanks, man.
in this awesome facility, and I guess we'll look forward to seeing everybody next Monday.
See you guys. Have a great week.
Thanks for watching.